Friends, if you're looking for real old school laughs, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine? Then it went woke? Wow, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today. Good evening and welcome to the program. I am Tom Connors. It is time for Midnight's Edge After Dark, the show that comes to you twice a week because we're lazy and we can only do it twice a week. No. Welcome to the program. We have with us tonight Six. How you doing?
Good evening, and thank you for welcoming me to the program. I am doing good. I'm doing good.
I'm surprised you have enough energy like that. That was a little energetic.
Well, I'm faking it because we're live.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Like once the cameras start to roll, I fake it.
Women always fake it in my life, I guess. It's just a typical problem I have.
In my life, they never have to.
That's what you think, Mike.
Wait, what?
But no.
Really good at acting.
There you go. That's Mike, the Mexican Iron Man, the world's greatest YouTuber extraordinaire. How are you doing, my friend?
That is a thing. I love you. Glad to be. Son of a God, Jesus. Is that?
It's permanent.
Where is that in the banners area? Where is that? Is that?
I don't know where it's at. It's there.
Oh
it's
my God! You uploaded as an overlay. I can't believe it.
Nice.
Jesus.
How's Bambino doing?
Well, it's now summer is here at Hilton Head Island. We went out for a walk, and here's the thing with Bambino. So we started walking to the pier, and it's about a mile and a half round trip. Well, today we learned that Bambino was kind of out of shape because we got to about the 1/3 of a mile mark, and he was already jumping up for me to pick him up and carry him the rest of the way.
Aw.
But I did not waver. No, I made that dog walk it. And so, yeah, he's taking a nap right now. So,
How often do you walk that long with him?
probably about 3 or 4 times a week we do that at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't always take him out on that. I do that walk probably, I don't know, 5, 6 times a week. I take him with me maybe 3 or 4 times of that.
Okay.
Bambino, he's kind of a fancy pants dog. Like, I feel like if it were up to Bambino, he'd have like a little Chihuahua cart for the walk, you know? Yeah, he's not really that physically inclined, if you know.
Hook up some bitches, have him pull him around.
Yeah. He would be like that dude, like in the 10 Commandments movie, that's on a cart and has people like carrying him around. That's kind of Bambino style. Hi, everybody.
Well, welcome, Mikey. We're glad to have you here. Also, we have the rockiest dude I know in the world, Mr. Clobberin Times. How you doing?
Hey, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for having me. Doing good, and great to see my wonderful friends on the chat, especially Six, of course, and the world's greatest YouTuber, Iron Man Mexican, and CC, and wonderful chat. Hello, everybody. He's my idol. He's the greatest YouTuber ever. Let's face it.
He is the greatest, isn't he?
Nope. Vetoed. Overruled. Objection. Son of a bitch.
The best never think they are. The best never really know that they are.
That's right. That's true. He's just humble. Speaking of humble, here's another gentleman I know who's mighty humble, but he has the voice of a horny angel. Mr. CC Karaoke the Bard. How are you doing?
I'm not as rocky as Clobbering, but I'm living in the Rockies.
Just
The
keep
RVs
on
repaired
rocking it,
and,
baby. Oh yeah, you're out and about again now. You're no longer in the
I'm
city.
a few miles down the road from Alberta, and sooner or later I'm going to enter that province, which is technically. I heard they were seceding from Canada, but we'll see. So it's a great place, beautiful. Just I'm kind of surprised there's internet here. I wasn't sure if I would actually be able to get online, but apparently there is. So hey, there's internet everywhere now.
Right? And you're not breaking up or nothing. You're coming through just fine, so that's always good. So yeah, who knows who else will show up, but you should share out the link, hit that like button. We appreciate that. We don't have any member chats or super chats to start off the show.
I think
with.
we should hold the show and freeze it or start it over because Culture Casino isn't here.
He's not.
We would never
He's
have a
not
show.
going to be here. Yeah, we'd never have a show.
Ever?
Never.
Actually, you're right. Now that I think
Be
about
like
it.
twice a year.
Well, we don't have to start the show with super chats. We can start the show with some action-packed topics of news.
How about saying hi to the chat?
Oh yeah, let's say hi to the chat. Let's do that. Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Hi, Elijah Snow.
Hi, peoples.
Elijah Snow. He must be a planetary.
Yeah, that's my boy
Yeah,
Elijah
they're
Snow.
galactic,
Elijah's also
theory.
from South Carolina. He runs SWAT teams and shit for South Carolina.
That's cool.
Seriously,
That's hot.
And shit, huh? What kind of shit?
he's married. Sex. He's married.
I didn't say I wanted to marry him.
Yeah, that's right.
I just said
I have registered your opinion, Spock, but decided I don't give a damn about it.
That's what she's like to you right now, Mikey.
I know. I feel it.
I don't even know who you're talking about. I wasn't looking at chat. It took me like 10 minutes to write out that tweet that I just sent.
What'd you send a tweet to? What?
I tagged you in it. You said
Oh,
to
did
share
you?
out the stream, so I did.
Sweet, you did. Look at
I'm
that.
just not good at Twitter. I'm better than you.
I'm not real
but-
good at Twitter.
No, you're not.
You know what I saw on Twitter today? Way too much stuff for my young little mind. I saw a bunch of killings, or almost possible killings at this point, and then the video
Killings?
disappeared in the middle of it. Yeah, some crazy shit that happened in France. I'm not even going to talk about it because they're
Oh,
pulling down
no.
the video, so I don't want to get pulled down.
Oh,
Thanks for bringing it
no.
up.
And then I saw some dude get attacked by a shark. That was fucked up.
That's awesome. Send me that
I know,
link.
right?
Do that.
It's like, oh my God, Steven Spielberg was goddamn close. Fucking legs flying and everything, like blood squirting out. It's just like, holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. And then the Dash Attack, I think failed to put the filter on one of his images. So I got a face full of cock I didn't expect.
Really?
So yeah, that was kind of yeah, that shook me to my core.
Dash tag. Can you send that to me?
Yeah.
Because
no,
you
that
didn't
was
like
scary.
the color, or what happened?
It was scary. It was scary.
Hmm.
It was some interesting stuff. But yeah, no, I think I'm going to stay off of Twitter for the rest of the night.
Right.
Yeah, right. I might. You watch. I say I won't, but then I will. Nick S says hi. Well, hi, Nick S.
I know.
Hello to all the people in the chat we have here. I see
Nick.
David Glenn. I see Dr. Coffin Nails. E. Clay Thomason. Welcome to the chat. We got Doc Fortune or Fortune. I don't know if that's what it is. Moons of Madness. Duck Nation's here. We got Sander. We got so many regulars. D-Bud's in the house. How you doing? Hopefully everybody's having a
nails,
good
Mecca
day.
J.
I said Dr. Coffin Nails, didn't I?
I'm sorry.
Cryam. No, that's all right. Zephyr. So many regulars. Hit that like button. Share out the stream. What we're going to talk about tonight is the dismal box office predictions for movies coming out. Like, this has been a rough year for movies if you stop to think about it. Now, Spider-Verse was a bit of a surprise notice. And a couple other things did okay, but Fast X is failing to live up to expectations. The Little Mermaid was an out-and-out flop. And now Transformers is not looking to have a very good weekend.
Oh no!
Less
Yeah,
Oh
we-
no!
The eye.
yeah, it'll be less than meets the eye. That's right, Six, because the predictions keep going down. Now it's in the $55 million range for an opening, which is not good.
Oh,
And I believe that's just for the U.S. But I don't think Transformers has much to worry about because it'll probably bank overseas. But there's a lot of people that are predicting that Spider-Verse may upset this weekend, and this could be the first Transformer movie, I think, to not open at number 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Hasn't Transformers been around for like 400 years?
Yes.
Like, how many of the, aren't there 5 of these, 6 of these?
At least 10, maybe. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Not 10, but
You know, I
since
lost track of
2008,
this.
right?
Is
Or
it
7.
is it bad? I like Transformers, but doggone it, I like they're all blend together as one for me at this point.
Yeah.
I know the hot Megan Fox chick is in 1 or 2 of them, and then the hot blonde chick's in 1 of them, and then the other one has what's his name?
Oh, well, Megan Fox left the Transformers. She's hanging out with Rambo and He-Man and Crank guy.
Well,
In the
I
Expendables
have
4.
ticket passes to see this. I don't know if I'm going to use them. Should I use them?
I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, they're specifically for this movie.
Yeah.
Then use them.
They're
Fuck
for
it,
my
if it's
local.
free.
Yeah, it's for my local assistant manager. He's one of the assistant managers at one of the local theaters here.
Yeah, they're looking at an opening weekend range of 46 to 56 million. Now, it technically opened yesterday. It had previews. Now, their total for the weekend is looking at 93 to 133 million. But again, that's a 5-day total or whatever. That's not good for these kind of movies. Now, Mike, tell me why. I know the answer, but tell the folks out there, I guess.
Why?
And anybody else who might be wondering why. Because 55 million, that's a lot of money. 130 million, that's a lot of money.
Well,
Why isn't that good for a movie like this to open that low?
Well, here's the problem. What's the budget on this thing? Let me look.
That's a good question. I haven't seen the rise. I think it's 200 to 250.
Uh-oh. Is it really?
147.
Okay,
140.
so
Well,
we
they
got
managed to keep it low. That's kind of
All
impressive.
right, so we got 147. Let's just round up to $150 million production budget. Thank you, Six. You are always on top of it.
It's Google.
And we got a
At
marketing.
least 50 to 100 on marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's split the difference at 75 mil and go with 225 total in. That means we got to make, given our splits, domestic and overseas, times 3, maybe 2.7. Let's go with shit. If we don't make 400 to 500, we're screwed.
Yeah. Now this movie isn't out.
Now here's why
I think
50
it's going to
million
do okay
openings.
outside. Yeah, go ahead.
If it's bad, 50 million opening weekend, and usually the drop offs anywhere from 40 to 70%. The next week, that means the following week could do 25, 75, 85.
Mhm.
Oh my God, this thing might do more. This thing might only do 150 to 220.
Well, here's the only reason why I think this, of all the movies we're going to talk about today, is going to be okay.
Why?
Because if it does about 120 million in the US, that's not far off from what Bumblebee did. What it will do, though, outside the US is like twice that.
Mm-hmm.
Because these movies are big outside of the US. I have a feeling Transformers is going to be just fine. Because Fast X did just fine outside the US. It was in the US it had a problem.
They're not going to do anything weird in this Transformer, like have a discussion about
Well,
well, I got in touch with my Transformer identity and I ripped out my transmission.
I
Get
am
it?
a little too masculine, so I had to be tore down on Peg or two, is what we are being told.
Exactly. Optimus Prime. I'm not sure when I turn from an Autobot and I convert. I'm just not sure. I'm not comfortable with this transmission still being down there.
well, you are transforming. I mean,
Get
just
it?
be what you want.
The transmission transform down.
Yeah, why don't you just be a transformer?
Get it? You got the joke now.
I did.
Okay, that was your cue to laugh, Clobby.
Well,
did.
and that's the thing is like this movie,
did,
if it
buddy.
even opens to that big, will be about the same range as Spider-Verse. But
Yeah.
I think they're kind of predicting that Spider-Verse might have a bump this weekend, more or less, or have a hard stay, or however you want to put it. It's going to stay solid this weekend,
Yeah.
to
I
my
guess so.
chagrin.
Same here.
My
To our
chagrin?
mutual chagrin.
Oh, I thought you said sugar in.
That too.
Sorry.
Maybe God, what does that mean for? Do you think this is going to be one of those years, Tom, where like all movies in general are just going to be suppressed somehow?
I don't know. See, because I was kind of hopeful for this Transformer movie, if not for anything, that it would just be something to take away our attention from Spider-Verse. But Look, I haven't been a fan of all of them, but maybe Bumblebee. And then this one, from what I've heard from just about everybody now, is that it doesn't sound too good. In fact, somebody said something about like it doesn't even feel like it takes place in the 90s. They don't even understand why it's taking place in the 90s, and they even have some anachronisms. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Paulie didn't like it too much. So
That's the other thing. Yeah, Paulie didn't like it. And he likes everything that's
he
crap.
likes everything.
Right. Right. Yeah, when I get in an argument with Polly, I just remind him he likes Shang-Chi.
I got a weird theory
point.
on this. I got
What?
a weird theory on this, and it could be way off.
What?
But when we first heard about this movie, Andre and I had a source that was saying, yeah, it's going back to Bayformers. In fact, some of the original producers and stuff were coming back on board. And in the interium of all that, Bumblebee, had come out on video and streaming and all that business. And I think it caught a second life. So I think retroactively, they decided to kind of make this a quasi bridge film between the two. I'm starting to wonder. Because people are like, it feels like it's kind of in Bayverse again, but it's supposed to be in the 90s. And I mean, Optimus looks like he does in Bumblebee, and I think Bumblebee looks like he does in Bumblebee. If I remember right, somebody, if I'm wrong, please, because I don't know shit about, I don't, literally, like, Transformers is one of my least favorite franchises from when we're kids.
What?
Nothing personal,
Yeah.
it just wasn't one of my favorites.
Wasn't your bag. Same here.
No. I was into He-Man, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. Those were my top 3.
Well, I'm looking at the Transformers Rise of the Beast 2023 6 p.m. Saturday night showing at the local IMAX. And
Well, if I had a vehicle, I would have went last night. There was some seats left, but it was almost sold out last night.
Well, you want to see what my local IMAX looks like?
Let me guess, it's pretty empty.
Blue meaning
Ouch.
available, right?
Yes, the
Yeah.
X means they've been
Light
picked.
blue, yeah. Oh boy, that's more than it probably is here, but yeah.
And that's a primetime show.
And yeah, that's a Saturday night, right? Wow.
That's Saturday night,
Yeah.
6 p.m. IMAX.
Wowzer.
That's
Wowzer. Ain't good at all. Ain't good at all.
Ain't good at all.
Ain't good at all.
Yeah. No, and again, I'm not like trying to call Transformers stupid or anything like that, or anybody who likes it stupid. I know it's very popular.
my
That's what I've
God,
been arguing
the
the
night-
last week.
Yeah.
Guess what I just
what?
found? Watch this.
What up?
Uh-oh.
This is the
Spaghetti-O.
9 o'clock show. That's prime.
Oh
Wow.
shit!
Whole...
Not even a date. Look at that. That's
Yeah,
two
no, but-
lonely dudes going together.
Probably kicking themselves. Like, we could have got a better seat than
Yeah,
these.
they're going. They're fucking poor fucking saps are going to fucking Transformers after they get done at GameStop.
They put lousy seating, by the way, down on the floor like that. What the hell's wrong with that?
Yeah, these are
Six is laughing because she knows I'm right.
True.
this
Because
includes
they're
the-
sitting together, but they're not sitting together.
right,
Yeah.
right, and you know why? Because one of them is going to come as a cosplay as an Autobot.
I need both seats.
These
Well,
both
Mikey, if you and Tom went to a movie together, would you leave an empty seat between you two?
No, I want to be with my
Hold
boys.
hands and shit.
No, if I was with Tom at the movies, we'd be sharing popcorn and passing
Well,
over.
that's
the
what we need a
nachos.
seat. Yeah, we need one of those seats in between just to hold all our shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably.
I
Yeah,
never
maybe
want
we
to
might
sit
do
next.
that. Yeah,
I wouldn't
Otherwise,
sit
if
next
you
to
go
me.
to some of
No,
these
dude.
places, they've got like these love seats. Those aren't so bad,
right.
right? Because then you're not like
Dude,
right on top of each other.
This is
but like,
transport, and this is the tallest IMAX on the East Coast. Yeah, this one's a big one. So this one,
Wow.
yeah, it's a world. They say it's world's tallest. I don't know. I think it's equal
Wow.
to the world's tallest. But I know.
And
it's
why did they
tall.
pick some of the crappiest seats in the house? What the fuck is up with that?
Well, because
Those are terrible selections.
because right here is the disabled row, and it's extra roomy and stuff. So
Well, I was gonna say because you want to be dead
Yeah, but-
center, but like usually in
I
that
would
first
wanna
row
be
back,
right here.
right
You wanna
there.
be in the
Yes,
back
exactly.
on that other section. Yeah, up in there. Yeah, there. Or even I usually like to. I like an in seat.
They want to be near the aisle so they can go potty.
The
Yeah.
best
Wanna be
place
near
in the
the
house
aisle.
is usually dead center.
Wow, dude, this is not looking good. That's 9 o'clock IMAX Saturday night, people.
That's too bad.
Wow.
And I used to drive my friends nuts with that shit too.
Should I use the passes to see the IMAX, or should I just use the passes to see it regular?
Hey, if you can use it for IMAX, go for it. You might enjoy it. You and the boy. You got the kid around? You gonna take him?
No. Max is here next
Oh.
weekend. Starting next weekend.
Oh,
Take
Bring
a
him
lady
next week.
friend.
there you go.
Yeah,
Find a
yeah.
chick who's into
Transformers?
I'm sure a
Transformers.
lady would want to watch Transformers.
Do you know any ladies of the
Transformers?
Asian persuasion?
No,
Hang out.
I don't
They
generally.
might be into that.
I don't generally
to-
date Asian.
You need to hang out outside a marriage counselor's office.
Racist.
Bigot.
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 Hi,
Crap.
Script.
Oh, I see. I'm introduced as that word today, huh?
Yeah.
It works. No, that's. You show Script Doctor the respect he's due. He is a doctor.
We have been
for
off
God's
the
sake.
rails since it started, man.
Of course, right?
No, Mike was the bigot because he won't date Asian women.
Right.
So,
What?
so the noise six just made me make me like,
Are they
is she
too
Asian
fragile
or what?
for Mike?
What I miss?
Do you hear what Script said?
They're not married enough.
What? No, they're too fragile for Mike.
Because once they get married, you never see them again.
What? Y'all
I'm
are
kidding.
racist as fuck right now.
Racist.
I
Keep
know
going.
I'm being. I love it.
I like what Script said. They're too fragile for my.
They're too fragile.
They're too fragile for my
My
loving.
goodness.
Yeah. Speaking of Mexican Iron Man's loving, Glade Ribbon says, Mexican Iron Man, have you seen the Tequila Gundam?
Oh yeah. I actually want to get a life size, not life size. I want to get like a 2-foot replica of that. Yep. I just
Yeah.
haven't bought it yet, but I might buy myself that for Christmas this year. Frankly.
David Glenn says, for the record, I, for one, am not jonesing for the dial of dysentery. Well, we're going to get into that in just a few minutes here. So we'll hang on to that thought as much as you can. Squeeze tight. Bye Bye Hollywood Land says, this is Transformers 7. Megan left after 2, and it deserves to flop.
I'm
Oh,
glad
yeah.
somebody knows.
Megan didn't bring people to the audience to the screens.
Yeah.
man.
Oh well,
She's-
you know what? I saw those first 2 movies over and over again because she was in it.
She's a
I
hottie.
feel sorry for you, Mike.
I'm not saying she ain't good to look at, but if she was such a hot commodity, then why weren't the Turtle movies bigger hits and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had a few other movies on her own that weren't
She didn't
huge
do
hits. Like,
very well.
Jessica's body was a travesty.
yeah.
Oh god, that movie was awful, but she was still hot in a kind of sort of in a weird
Yeah,
way.
the body
Listen,
was still
she
great. but
had her beauty, and then she went under the knife and hit the wall 10 years earlier than she was meant to.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
she should have just stuck with sleeping with Michael Bay and not talking shit about him. Then maybe she'd have a career. But oh, did I say that out loud? I am so,
You did.
Cancel.
Wow, dude.
but I'm not sorry. Keto Simple's in the house. How you doing, buddy? Says, why no Mask movie yet? Mask.
Lucky. You're probably just
Well-
lucky, I guess.
They haven't figured out an angle to make it profitable yet to pursue.
We did get one. It was called G.I. Joe.
Consider
That was
yourself
more
lucky.
Mask than G.I. Joe.
It was. I'm sitting here watching the movie. I'm like, this ain't fucking G.I. Joe. This is Mask. Like,
Yeah. And
that's
a
all
bad
this
version
is.
of Mask.
It is a bad version of Mask, but it's still a better version of Mask than it is a G.I. Joe at the end of the day. But because
Mhm.
there weren't no cyber suits in G.I. Joe. What the fuck is that all about? And then Irate Specialist says, which will do better, Transformers or Indiana Jones? Well, yeah, you just came in the tail end of the script. We're going through the next few blockbusters and quotations that are coming out that are basically set up to flop and fail, it looks like. And
So they're
Transformers is the
ballbusters
first.
then.
Yeah, ballbusters. And Transformers appears to be the first of the bunch here, looking at a very poor weekend. So which one do you think will do worse, or what's your feelings on the box office for Transformers? Because we're going to get into Indiana Jones here in just a minute.
Well, are we exploring the arithmetic versus the money spent and the money returned, or just in general dollar gross amount?
Both works. I mean, in this case, if you just want to say which one you think will do better, because we can get deeper into the weeds as we get into Indiana Jones here in a bit.
Well, I will say Transformers Rise of the Beast, it doesn't really have any interesting, it doesn't have an interesting director associated to it. The trailer is trash. The marketing with Peter Cullen is beautiful, but unfortunately is better than what the movie will be, because much like with the original Transformers franchise, when it started in theatrical, it's abandoning all the source material that and iconography that made it successful to begin with in the first place. The Beast the beasties, the beast transformers, the Maximals are supposed to look like real animals, not robots. When they transform, they look like robots. That's the gimmick. And they completely abandoned that, which means that if they don't understand the gimmick that they're trying to adapt, they're not going to nail it for any of the audience. And that is essentially the case here. Also, this movie's been in the works for like 3.5, 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember seeing that kid walking, and then he like pops out of the car, and then the car transforms behind him, and that's like one of the promo shots for this movie. And I remember seeing that years ago. So it's been, in the works.
Well, I
for a
did
while.
have a bit of a thing I brought up earlier, script before you got here. I had a theory. I was like, I think this movie started because we had heard early on that it was going back to Bay formers, and then I think in the interim, Bumblebee had done so well on video and streaming that they were trying to retroactively work this into Bumblebee world, because I've heard a lot of reviews say that even though it takes place in the 90s, it don't feel like it does, and it feels like more like classic Bay than it does Bumblebee. And there's a lot of anachronisms, they said, too.
Well, I mean, come on. Like, this is one of the things that's really, really tragic, because I was kind of at Paramount a little bit during the time of this. And one of the things we saw was all the various special effects houses submitting their take on how to do Transformers. And there was some brilliant stuff there. There was a brilliant one where he had the Ark, the Autobot Ark crashing into the Paramount Mountain. And then it, having a time lapse into modern day, which was beautiful. There's one of the cartoon accurate looking Optimus Prime in his truck form transforming quite like brilliantly. So not overly convoluted, not overly technical like what we saw in Bay, but very simplistically transforming to the 20-foot robot that he is. And it was integrated into real footage that they shot on the streets of Beverly Hills, if I'm not mistaken. And it was brilliant. And all of those were tossed out in favor of Michael Bay and his spiky looking Transformers take. And it's atrocious. The people that were involved in that really dropped the ball. And even though they've been making money, because again, we're looking at 6 entries into the 6 or 7 entries into the franchise. They're clearly making them because they're seeing some sort of value in the box office from them and from distribution markets. But the fact of the matter is that they're forgettable. And I think the co-productions that are involved with this are banking on that, so they can constantly retell the same story with different robots over and over again, and keep bringing Peter Cullen in to, do a role that he's happy to do and happy for the fans to do. But part of me can see in some of the interviews he does that his soul is gone when he realizes what the final product is. Because I've seen him do interviews just recapping the original G1 series before the live action came out, and there's a life in his eye, the like of which you don't see often in actors. And then today, and in past interviews, you can tell that he's happy to be in the interview, but he's got this kind of at arm's length approach or emotional hook or emotional response compared to those earlier things. So. Yeah, that's the state of Transformers that I've come to understand.
Yeah. So quickly, let's go around the horn. Which do you think is going to do better, CC, Transformers or Indy?
Oh, I mean, growing up, I was huge on Beasties. As a script doctor, as a fellow Canadian, Maximals. You tell me that someone's going to do the Maximals in an excellent way. Just take all my money. Take it. I will just go to the bank. I will take a wad of bills and throw it at you. And if you tell me that someone's going to not do justice to that, then I'm pretty bummed out. With Indiana Jones, I said this a few shows back. I'm not. I don't get the feeling that has the same power as Star Wars ever did right now. I mean, yes, big franchise. It feels like it is, but it's the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was not well received, and that was 15 years ago. Now you got bad reviews for this one. I'm not surprised. Frankly, I'm not surprised that they're calling for $60 million. So I think that might be I couldn't tell you which one I think is going to do better. They might do equally well, except that you say that Transformers is a big like with the Fast franchise in Europe. Indy, I don't see having the same kind of European box office, so probably Transformers on that. Indiana Jones, though, if that's $60 million, whew.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in just a few minutes. Clobby?
Yeah, I think I'll probably go along with CC on that one. I think that that UK box office. So I don't know. Indy is. I don't know. It's not going to do very well. It's getting a lot of bad mouthing and stuff like that, or bad word of mouth, I should say. So I can't really predict. I think it's going to be close, but Indy has a chance to do a little bit better than that because it's going to have. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to go. More people, I think, might go see that out of curiosity than they will with Transformers. Transformers films have been coming out like a dime a dozen recently over the past few years, or for a good while. There hasn't been a movie with the title Indiana Jones in it since 2008. I know it wasn't particularly well received. A lot of people kind of scoff at the idea, but I think a lot of people are going to go out of curiosity and because of Harrison Ford's star power. So I kind of see what CC's saying, but I'll go the other way and probably say that Indy will probably have a little bit more success, even though it doesn't look promising.
Interesting. All right, Mikey.
Transformers will have a better box office and they'll make more money because the indie budget is whack.
Oh yeah, it'll make me sure.
Yeah.
I guess so.
6.
Indiana Jones is going to smash it. If I ask my mom and my niece if they've heard of Transformers and Indiana Jones, both of them are going to say Indiana Jones. My mom's never heard of Transformers. I think Indiana Jones is going to appeal to an older crowd, whereas Transformers is going to be more of the kids and those approaching middle age who are trying to hang on to the first. How many did you say? There's 7 Transformers?
7 now, yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to hang on to the first 6. I think Transformers is kind of like the Fast X franchise. It's like, oh, another one. Okay. Did I see the one before it? But Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull made $100 million on its 3-day opening weekend.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of people that are going to be going to see this new one, hoping for some kind of redemption from that one. So my money's on Indy.
I think you're all right, at least in a respect. Like CC, I think, pointed out first that overseas, I think Transformers is going to be the winner. But I think Indiana Jones overall between the domestic box office is going to do a little bit better. But as far as which one's going to make more money at the end of the day, it'll probably be Transformers because of the differentiation of the vast difference, I should say, in the budgets. That's what's going to be the big deal breaker there. But we need to move. We need to move along here. Lance Corporal Waffle says Joe B. Harold did the story for Rise of the Beast. I'm not familiar with Joe B. Harold, but I feel like I should be.
He's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, he wrote on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Boy. An Army of the Dead, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Yeah, he did that fucking. He worked on that Awake movie
with Hayden Christensen. Yeah.
Oh my God! One of the worst movies ever made. I had forgot that movie was so bad. I forgot it existed.
Yeah, he worked. He's also done some revisions for John Wick and Edge of Tomorrow. So basically, like a dialogue polish. But yeah, Awake. I understood why Awake got made because it was the most unique premise of the time. That's
the premise is good, but the movie was horrible.
No, the movie is terrible. But yeah, no, he's one of the writers for it. So obviously, he's he also he's also got a producing credit on the Robin Hood remake in 2018. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're lucky, Brad Young. It was a bad movie, very bad movie.
And he's also one of the writers of The Flash.
Speaking of, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But let's keep going here. Pinochet says, I don't know much, but Megan Fox has toe thumbs.
I've heard that over and over again, in fact.
Yeah. Bye-bye Hollywoodland says, just saying Kurtzman wrote 1 and 2 and was axed from 3. That's why 3 was probably a step up from part 2.
Was it?
A little bit better.
I have a
At least had a little
question.
bit slightly different plot.
They had a new
'Cause-
girl in 3, right?
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
with the blonde. Yeah,
2 was really bad. I saw this one last one I ever saw.
2 is just horrible. Anyway, what were you saying, Mike?
What's a toe thumb?
You don't want to
Oh.
know.
The thumb that looks like an adult toe.
You don't want to know.
Ew.
Like the opposite of a hitchhiker's thumb,
You
basically.
really don't want to know.
Like if you ever smashed your thumb underneath a hammer and it didn't heal properly, it would look like a toe.
It looks like they surgically removed her big toes and put them on her thumbs because she
Told you
lost
didn't
her
wanna know.
thumbs.
I
Told
didn't see that in the movie. How did I miss that?
Because they
It's not in
shoot
the
around
movie.
it.
Oh.
Kind of like how you never knew that Radar was missing some fingers.
Or James
Mash.
Doohan, who played Scotty on Star Trek.
Or
was
James
missing a
Doohan,
finger.
exactly. Yeah, because they were good at hiding it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't like Morgan Freeman missing like most of his like one of his hands now, and he has like a fake hand on
I don't know.
and
Could
everything
be,
he
yeah.
does now? I think so. Because I remember when his accident happened, I thought that was the case. Because when I seen him live, he just leaves it hanging there. But in movies, they've actually made it move with CGI, I think. But anyway, not that he's made a shit ton of movies, but yeah, since then. But that was just a couple of years back. He was in that horrible accident.
He's in Lioness coming out with Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, interesting. James 296 says after Harrison helped kill Han, I'm helping kill Indy. Eye for an eye, I suppose. Ooh, that's cold.
Oh, can't say I blame you.
But fair.
He did do that. And he's killing Indy too, really.
He doesn't want to kill Indy. He loves Indy.
But he's killing him. He can't
Right.
love him. And if it turns out what everyone's saying about that movie is true, he's killing him. But yeah, I know
Bye-bye.
he loves him, but yeah. I know he says
Bye-bye.
he loves him. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Bye-bye. Hollywood says, my name is Optimus Prime, and we need a reboot again.
Yes, indeed. Zontar says script after NYC, what city should we smoke next? Oh, you guys.
Smoke weed every day.
Technically, Seattle.
Yes.
Or
Why can't you guys smoke out? Well, New York is pretty decent.
New York has its problems, but yeah, it's been an improved city relatively over the last 30 years. But yeah, Seattle, Washington State. Unfortunately, a lot of good people are suffering over there. So
Yeah.
This could be what you Canadians have planned for years, which is a takeover.
well, 90% of our country is forest. That's very difficult for anyone who's not Canadian to survive in. So, I mean, all I have to say is good luck.
Yeah,
There's a lot of free land up here.
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not good like kind of in the wild outback. That's not kind of my. Now, if there's a Hilton there, then I'm good.
There is a Hilton Hotel in Toronto.
Yeah, but that's like a real city.
Yeah.
I heard Toronto's amazing.
It is clean. It's basically what you would think Metropolis would be from Superman. Is what
And I
Toronto
heard
is.
everybody there tell me that everybody's nice.
No, they're polite, but they're not nice.
Oh, uh-oh.
Hmm.
Big difference.
Watch out for Scott. He's a dick.
Who's Scott?
It's a South Park episode.
Oh, I can barely hear you.
Tom.
Yeah, my sound just went whacked on me. Hang on.
All right, quickly about Toronto, you got water to the south.
Yep.
And you have rivers going north with golf courses all along the rivers. And because of all that private property and the water, you have only 3 ways east-west across a city of 5+ million people, and that may not be LA size, but 3 ways over like a 10-mile radius to go east-west, and the traffic is not pleasant.
Well,
And
you have 3 main ways to go. If you
Yeah.
live in the city, you know about 24 other ways that nobody else takes that can get you from point A to point B in like a couple of minutes.
True, but most people get stuck in those 3 ways, and
They do.
it diminishes the pleasantness of the population a little bit.
Oh, 100%. But one of the things that's actually kind of miraculous is during the pandemic lockdown, Toronto repaired a bunch of the roads in record time. And since the traffic has increased again, the roads are still holding up really, really well. So they actually hired good contractors this time around. It's been nuts. Like I've gone to the downtown centers where there used to be potholes everywhere, and it's like they look like they were repaved a couple of days ago, and they weren't. I can't believe it. They did an actual real job. First time in my life ever visiting Toronto, and I've been living in that area off and on for 20 years.
Yeah, it's good to hear because I haven't been there in a few years. So,
yeah. No, it's still clean. The only thing that stinks is King Street because of the sewers. And anyone who lived in Toronto should know that.
Well, moving on here, our next movies, hopefully,
It's
American Airlines paging Tom Connors' soundbox. Tom Connors' soundbox. Will you please report to the white courtesy phone?
The white phone is for outgoing calls. Please report to the black phone for incoming calls.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Tom? Okay, and according to the Hollywood Reporter, Ezra Miller's The Flash and Pixar's Elemental encounter box office headwinds. Where's this article at? Shoot, I got to bring this up. I got to take over the show. I'm taking over the show, everybody. Look out.
Okay, so early tracking shows The Flash opening to a soft 70 million. That's 10 million more than Indiana Jones at the domestic box office, while Elemental is pacing for just 40 million. The two summer tentpoles open June 16th. Take it away, Mike.
Hold on, I'm bringing up the other. Oh, good. You're scrolling. All right, great.
Elemental's a tentpole?
Looks like one.
Well, we're going to call it like... are you back, Tom?
I need a new mic. Anyway, yeah, I didn't really mean to read the whole article, but the whole point of this is The Flash is also estimated to open up to a soft opening. And Elemental, they're dreaming if they think it's going to make 40 million. It'll be lucky to make that in its whole fucking run. I don't see that. I think this is going to be one of the lowest grossing Pixar films of all time. But I'm really curious what you guys are thinking about this, because at first I would have thought Flash would do much better than this.
I thought The Flash was a shoo-in at 125 million.
It's not pacing at this point, but we'll what do you guys think? I mean, who wants to start?
They should have released it last year.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
Just get it out of the way.
I think you're right, Script. I think people are. I think there's weariness out there in DC, and there's this thing's just kind of out there, just sort of hanging out there in the wind. I think they made a strategic mistake when they said, let's hold it and wait for the bad news about Ezra to die down. They should just let it rip. Like, did you say that last October?
I said it in April when the Batman came out. And the reason I said that is because guess what? You're either going to keep him out of the mainstream media and hoping people are going to forget, or the worst case is that you're going to have people spend that time between when it was supposed to come out and now researching everything they can about the movie and possibly Ezra Miller. So now you're actually giving people time to learn about his allegations, and that's going to affect your interest in seeing the movie.
The shenanigans, yeah.
And people like us have not stopped talking about it either. That's part of it. And we made sure that people weren't forgetting. But as I think Andre gave me credit for, I think in the last morning show, as I heard, they were not going to allow him to go on the press tour for this movie.
Nope. He is a pre-recorded interview, and he will appear during the world premiere, and that's the first and only time you'll see him until this movie is out of theaters and possibly even done its initial streaming run promotion.
Now, isn't that unusual?
Yes.
Yes. Like
and
the star of your film. Here's going to be the irony. The star of The Flash is going to be publicly considered a supporting character in his own movie to make room for Batman, played by Michael Keaton, who is in the movie significantly, but nowhere near as much as Ezra Miller.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Yes, indeed. And I seen Paulie in the chat. He's seen the movie. If you want to hop in here, Paulie, just let me know. I'll send you the link. But I mean, the thing is this movie is getting mostly positive buzz for the film overall. Paulie saw it, and he said the best part of the movie is Ezra Miller, which take that as you will.
Well, I'll tell you,
that's not a good.
Ezra Miller is doing what we Canadians call the Orphan Black effect. And for those that don't know, Orphan Black was a Canadian-produced television series where
Yeah.
Tatiana Maslany was playing multiple characters off of herself, essentially. And guess what? You know what actor has the best chemistry with another actor? An actor playing off themselves.
So that would be like
Lies.
that would be like Bat Tom and Tom.
Yeah.
Well, I was using an example right there. One of the best ones, somebody who was Oscar nominated for doing just that.
What?
Nobody likes you. I'm not listening.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Andy Serkis, yeah. But no, I mean, obviously he's going to have great chemistry off of himself. He's playing off of himself. So yeah, people are probably going to really enjoy that. You're seeing a dude do a one-man show that someone else has written, so it's not going to suck as much. But yeah, I can see them being completely impressed with that, failing to realize that actors act off themselves in the mirror, off themselves off of video recordings and whatnot. They know how to create chemistry with an individual of one. So that's not something to really think of as impressive. That is kind of your basic skill level of any competent actor. And this movie is going to exploit that. And good for them, because they need to exploit every single aspect they can to try and get any money in this thing to mitigate how much they actually lose. And it's going to be a lot.
Wow.
He wants it to go away and never comes back. That was for Ezra. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm beside myself. I thought with Michael Keaton, this movie would do better.
It still could.
Never know.
Yeah, I mean, this might be a soft. I mean, it could do better than this. Obviously, these are just predictions, right? We need to keep that in mind.
And these are low-balled predictions specifically so that the trades can say it blew past expectations.
That too.
Oh, that's how it works.
Well, that's how it's working now. Beforehand, when they thought nothing could harm them, they'd be like, yeah, we're projecting for $120, $150 million opening weekend. And then they would, eke by that by a few million or what have you. Now they have seen the writing on the wall. People aren't going to the theaters as frequently as expected with the lifts of a lot of those pandemic restrictions. Not because the opportunities aren't there. It's because what is in theaters that people really want to see.
What's exactly?
I think Mission Impossible is going to shock a lot of people this year, and justifiably so.
That's the part I agree with you. Script is that it should have come out a year ago, because I do think that we're hitting this change in societal trends right now, and that a movie that may have had more success a couple of years ago, people are kind of moving on, and it's not because they're moving on from Marvel or DC specifically, but they're moving on from things that just aren't worth their time. And if something gets great word of mouth, it'll have better legs, sure. But there's just, you look outside of Hollywood right now. I'm a video game fan. You talk about new IPs, new ideas. There are a lot of new ideas out there. There's a lot of great original content out there. If it's not coming from Hollywood, people are going elsewhere to find it. And they'll find something else to do with their money and their 2 or 3 hours of their life than go to the theater if there's not something they want to see right now.
Absolutely. And as soon as those independent IPs kind of break the threshold into the populace, the mainstream's then going to go after them, if not for ownership, then at the bare minimum licensing. In which case, if you're listening to this and you're one of those IPs that's on the rise, and Hollywood comes knocking, don't sell, just license. You'll make some better money, and you also will have better control over the direction of your IP.
Yeah. And before we move ahead here, ActionCom says, because of the fires, is the strategic maple syrup reserve ready? Or did Mike steal it? Did you steal the maple syrup, Mike?
I don't even like maple syrup. Why would I steal it?
I'd probably steal it before Mike.
I told Script that when he comes to visit me, I got to get extra. He's got to tell me what bacon to get and where I got to get the syrup so he can have his breakfast in the morning.
I can bring a syrup with me. I can sneak it under the 2-ounce limit.
Okay.
And then Greg, New Zealand Greg or NZ Greg, I don't know why I always do that. has been a member for 4 months. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And then Bye Bye Hollywood says, had the sci-fi bubble burst, action films back? Maybe, but I don't know. Indiana Jones might not be enough action for the box office. Because moving on from there, only a couple weeks after the Flash opens up, we get Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and that one
In only
is
3
really
weeks, 21 days from now, it opens worldwide, everybody.
the cloudiest outlook of all of them, being Indiana Jones looking to ring up only $60 million for its opening. And here's why, according to a new report that just came out today from Anthony D'Alessandro. How do you say that? D'Alessandro?
I'm not
Let
telling
me
you.
zoom in on that. Hold on.
D'Alessandro.
D'Alessandro.
Thank you. Yeah. In the wake of the world premiering in Cannes, to the lackluster film reviews at 50% Rotten Tomatoes, the Dial of Destiny, I almost said the Dick of Destiny, is currently looking at a 60 million domestic opening. The movie opens on June 30th, heading into what is conceivably a 5-day play period, given that Independence Day falls on a Tuesday. Dial of Destiny's 3-day is down from the 100.1 million 3-day of the last movie's 2000. And you got to remember, this is about inflation, folks. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So that movie's 15 years ago already.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, so add that much inflation on there. And this latest sequel reps the finale for the entire franchise. Crystal Skull opened on a Thursday over Memorial Day weekend, earning in a total of over 5 days, of 151.9 million. So it did pretty good overall for that opening. Logan filmmaker James Mangold took over helming the the finale, from franchise architect Steven Spielberg. Currently, Dial of Destiny is tracking significantly with older over younger, and that's something I'm not surprised about, which has many camping key pick too. That's exactly how it fucking says here. Daniel Craig, I think they mean comparing the pick.
Oh, it looks like the editor-in-chief at Deadline forgot to read this one.
Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be. Is comparing the pick to the last 007 film, basically. Some are saying that a 70 million start for Dial of Destiny, that's quite a stretch. Realize that Lionsgate's John Wick Chapter 4 opened at 73.8 million, with double the tracking metrics that Dial of Destiny is showing here. So there's your answer to he's always changing his name. Bye Bye Hollywood in the chat. As far as the action bubble, I wouldn't bank on action films saving the industry quite yet. John Wick did well, but it didn't do that great. Disney will need to pick up the slack in the coming weeks in their marketing to get more interest from younger guys. The distraction now being Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in theaters in the upcoming Warner Brothers DC Flash on June 16th. Notice how they just skipped right over Transformers. However, that word of mouth out of Cannes is quite the hurdle. I think that's probably what's hurting this box office overall right now. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which wasn't beloved by many, settled at 77% certified fresh and a B cinema score versus the previous 89 installment, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which earned 84% certified fresh from critics and a solid cinema score. With Dial of Destiny at a 60 million 3-day, that's easily the second best start for the Indiana Jones franchise in the box office era. Last Crusade opened to 29.3 million 3-day over extended Memorial Day weekend. It did 46.9 million at 2,327 theaters. That's another thing. You gotta remember, these movies back then opened at like a half the theaters that they do now too. 84's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, about in at 23.3 million on 84's extended Memorial Day weekend at only 1,687 theaters. 81's Raiders of the Lost Ark gross trajectory harkens back to the way blockbusters were made over the year. The pick opened to 8.3 million at just over 1,000 theaters, and by January 82 had earned 179 million at the box office. So anyway, with a life cume of 212, Anyway, point being, this is not looking good for Indiana Jones, is it?
Mm-mm. No, sir.
Now Paulie comes in.
There you go.
I was eating a cookie.
Where did you bring me one?
Yeah, I got one left.
What kind of cookie?
And it's a vegan chocolate chip cookie. They're very
I
good to
don't
eat.
want it. No.
Yeah.
Vegan chocolate chip, like it's bread, and
That means it don't have no butter and shit in it.
oh,
And then the chocolate chips can't have any milk, and you can't use any milk.
all right,
You
butter's
can't-
vegetarian, but it's not vegan. Oh, excuse me.
Exactly. Yes.
Isabella's Cookie Company.
It's not
Maybe they're
margarine, is
okay.
it?
Oh, I hope not. That stuff's like a chemical away from plastic.
No, this is like, top of the line, cookies here, man.
You sound like you just got up. Were you taking a nap?
And I took a nap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eee. Tired, man.
So you saw The Flash before we get back into Indiana Jones here. Do you think
Yeah.
the $70 million opening for The Flash is a little too soft, or what do you think? Do you think that's going to be on par? If that's the case, that's not boding well for that film overall at the end of the day.
70 million? Let's see. Yeah, it should probably do a little better. I think just on the fact that a lot of people are going back to the movies and consuming, like kind of like these bigger names, I'm curious to see how Transformers does. I think it'll do exactly how the Transformers is going to do.
Did you hear our discussion before now?
A little bit. Why? What's up?
Because we were asking each person which one they thought they'd do better.
Oh God. Spider-Verse.
It was nice having you, Paulie. No, so like, yeah, I you having seen the film, I was just curious if you felt like you think, like, what kind of crowd did you have there?
Well, that was in a shill crowd, so that didn't count.
Oh, that's right. You went with your Collider friends.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't gauge it. I gauged the Transformers crowd last night, and they're very into
Yeah.
the
How big of a crowd
Maximals.
was it?
Huge. Yeah, but it was it's the Maximals that people loved. I talked to a couple of the people afterwards, and you even had a couple families with they were doing the Optimus Prime popcorn truck. You get the truck and it's a popcorn holder. People were buying that stuff up. I think anything like that where it's like can like appeal to kids or fans of the original, they're gonna eat it up for the first weekend. Interesting also too, they had a Transformers trivia going on for 7 minutes before the movie time. I thought that was really, really a brilliant idea, brilliant marketing, because they would have the question and then a multiple choice. Then you had images of the new film, quick interviews of Cullen, of the actors, back to the trivia. I was like, oh, okay. I noticed that I call it the Tom Cruise effect. Ever since Tom Cruise thanked his audience last year, these movies have been following that suit, doing something unique before showtime for the audience. Yeah, I was like, so that's why I think Transformers is going to do decent. I don't know how it'll do decent with the younger teenagers and stuff. It's not much. It's not that good.
We'll have to see how the previews have done because they didn't release any numbers from last night since I think it was only a one show preview.
Oh, really?
I think so because like I looked at my theater and all of them only had like one showing at 7 p.m. No show after that. Now today is when they started showing it. for the full-time show.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Flash, so the thing that annoys me about those types of crowds, where it's just like, are you laughing and cheering to be sincere or just to kiss ass? Because I got the latter. It's like, dude, what? Yeah, cool. Why did you just shut up?
Who did we just lose?
Mike.
Mike, where'd you go, Mike? I know
Mike.
Six had to go, but where'd Mike had to go?
Taco time.
Oh, that's anytime,
Mike.
dog. We can multitask when we eat tacos.
It's probably because you're here.
No.
He's like, there's too much Mexican representation on this stream.
Right.
Took off.
Could be an embarrassing admission, but I learned how to wrap a burrito for the first time today. It's life-changing.
Really? I learned at Taco Bell.
First time? Really?
How to wrap a burrito.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed it.
How to use a
There it
tortilla?
is. Now I know. Now I can do all sorts of things.
Now your life has changed. Correct. Yeah, we feed the masses with that burrito, man. With the one tortilla, but I know that's a different thing. But I don't know how Flash is gonna do, man. I think there'll be those Flash fans.
Will it be a flash in the pan?
It'll be a flash in the pan, sir.
Yeah.
I don't see the same type of energy and fun and passion that I did with the Spider-Verse fans. Someone said something too about just it not being new. So maybe people are also just fatigued. Besides all the obvious problems with Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
Oh, I think there's lots of fatigue right now. I think that's set in, especially lately.
But people are going to the theater, though. I don't know who said that they weren't going to the theater. I heard someone when I was coming in.
Oh no, not fatigue for the theater, just fatigue for waste of time stuff, for B-level stuff, C-level stuff.
Well, I think what the Flash is that they had to pivot away from Ezra Miller, obviously, in marketing, that they pushed the Keaton stuff, and it's like been there, done that. Like he's with his own Batman films. It was very much like that. So it was cool to see, but it wasn't anything new. They didn't really give him much. This is an Ezra Miller movie. For better or for worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was some months back. I heard this on a show, and it sunk in with me. Is that when the worldwide event happened a couple of years ago, it changed people's priorities, what they really cared about at current, what they wanted to focus on, and then after. My parents, for example, they've gone over to Europe on a trip that they planned 3 years ago, and I saw that too. There's a lot of tourists around, because I travel around. Tourists who are going on trips they haven't been able to go on for a few years because it kept getting delayed. They've been locked up for a little while, for lack of better words. And now that people are getting out and doing these things again that they haven't done for a while, again, it changes priorities. What do you do with the time you have in a day? And
really fast, Mike's computer froze. He told me to tell you, Tom. Internet just dies and the laptop.
I think he just
froze.
sent me in.
Yeah,
Too,
he just text me.
Yeah.
I mean, to CC's thing is that I think people are have been getting out. They're dying to be entertained. What were the big hits so far this year, Tom?
Well, the surprise hits are the ones that have, I think, like you had the year started out strong with Megan. Scream did okay. Mario Brothers, of course, was the huge hit.
Mario Brothers.
We weren't surprised by it, but a lot of the critics.
No, you called that last year.
A lot of us kind of knew that it was going to be $1 billion hit. Other than that, what has been the bigger hits this year? There hasn't been much.
John Wick.
John Wick did okay.
John Wick
had a strong opening. But no, that's been pretty much the only ones you can really highlight. I guess
Scream was decent. as far as the
Yeah.
money, but but
Yeah, it was also a step down enough to where I've been hearing that they're going to bring back Nev Campbell for the next one. But yeah,
but
that's neither here nor there. Yeah.
what about Guardians?
Guardians
did
is done respectable, I guess is the word I would use. It's not out of the woods yet, though, is it? Does anybody know? Because I don't even know where that's set in the box.
I had asked.
I don't know.
Looking here.
I had actually estimated that it hasn't made money yet.
I don't think it has. That's why I was going to look.
Right.
It's getting close. It's getting close. It's done 785 worldwide.
That's exactly what it needed to make.
Yep, it's done 327 domestically and 458 internationally.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad.
That's what it needed to make to break even.
Yeah,
Now
it's
making
basically
money.
broke even. Yep. And they just announced the video coming out here. I think it's August 1st. So that means they pretty much
And
decided
people
it's
liked
gonna
it. People
be
really
a
like it.
thing,
It's on a lot of people's top movies so far.
I did enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I liked it.
yeah. I forgot that even came out this year, though. That's a problem for that movie. Then all of a sudden, but
Fast X.
But that was just kind of a momentary lapse of memory there.
Mm-hmm.
Fast X, I would say I'd put that in the disappointment department.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, obviously, Little Mermaid leading the disappointment department.
Renfield bombed. I love.
Sadly, that was the one a lot of people liked, but it just didn't do well at the box office. Dungeons and Dragons was another one that failed, but a lot of people are coming around to it on streaming.
I mean, I love Renfield. I can't recommend it enough.
What was the budget of Air? Because Air did respectably, but I don't know what the budget was.
Fantastic film. Let me find out.
Oh, the other big failure of the year, of course, Ant-Man. I totally forgot that came out this year.
Oh yeah.
That's
what I'm thinking. Is that I just think that these audiences are just.
I think Creed 3 kind of underperformed compared to the last one. I'd have to look though.
Budget of 70 to 90 million. It made box office of 89.70 million. Air.
What was the budget again? I'm sorry.
70 to 90 million. That's where it was a lot of money.
But it was it had a short theatrical run. Very short. Because it was like meant to go straight to Amazon or whatever.
It aired theatrically was released April 5th, and then
I have a feeling that'll be up for some Oscar nods though.
It's so far that's in my top 5. Because I'm getting ready to do that.
Yeah, it's my second favorite movie of the year so far, right behind Tetris.
Well, we got Chris Gore, Rosa Parra for the mid-year best of, so you got to come on that. We'll do a top 5 countdown.
Well, that means I got to watch a lot more movies, but
right, you got to go.
Evil Dead was a decent hit for what it was. Yeah,
Evil Dead. Evil Dead. So I think because of the tight schedules, these guys have they have to make most of their money that first weekend, because besides Mario, a lot of these aren't having legs.
Sadly, 65 bombed. I didn't hate it. I liked that it was at least a newer kind of concept. It wasn't a sequel, a prequel, or an IP.
I really didn't like it.
I understand why some people wouldn't like it though.
I wanted to like it. I
didn't hate it.
No.
I don't know. Would I watch it again right away though? I don't know.
No way.
I mean, it was fun, but I like those kind of movies though too. That's the thing. I totally understand.
John Wick had a budget of 100 million, made 432 million. Yeah, I think they wanted it to break 500.
How much of a budget did John Wick have?
I got here 100.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one did well enough.
Yeah,
well enough that I think they greenlit another one, didn't they?
They're talking. Do it if they have an idea for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was a
script doctor.
a tweet or somebody said there's going to be a 5th one and the spin-off series.
I was going to say,
so
I thought they're
moving forward.
I knew the series were on, but other than what Script just said, I thought they had already greenlit a 5th one, or at least the studio.
They haven't greenlit it. They said they'd want to do it because I think the story goes that Keanu and the director would celebrate after the movie premiered, and then they'd be like, yep, that's it. That's the rest for us. Then they'd go to the bar, get drunk, come up with another idea, and be like, okay, maybe we got one more. Like, that's what they usually joked about. We don't know if that's what has actually happened yet or not.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see on that. But yeah, that's a good point. Tiger Valley says, I'm 25. Mom raised me on indie. He's a character I can credit as one of the few that shaped me into what I am today. Kind of like a father figure. I can see that. Apathetic toward DOD Indies a trilogy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. Most people consider it only a trilogy. Yeah. You got Camelbot Killers who said saw Raiders of the Last Ark last night. Great movie. Well, cool. But you got to see it on the big screen, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
the Fathom event.
Yeah, it was re-released. A Fathom
How
event.
much did they edit out of it? Action Comics says Razzie Nom, Little Mermaid Scuttlebutt rap. Yeah, right. Didn't I see some clip where somebody put a piece of that rap into that scene from the lighthouse where fucking Bat Pat like beats the hell out of that bird on the rocks, kills it. That was funny. That was funny right there. But anyway, we got one more story as far as new news. Remember I keep telling everybody nobody knows nothing about DC but James Gunn, right?
Yeah, I affirm that.
Yeah, and we keep hearing these rumors of that Superman's been cast. He's been cast.
No, he hasn't.
They got a Superman.
Nicolas
Cage. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. I am the Superman. We got Superman Legacy in-person screen tests on the horizon as Warner Brothers and James Gunn get closer to finding Clark Kent. Yes, as I've been saying, there ain't anywhere close to this yet. We'll know when we know because James Gunn will tell us so, right, Script Doc?
Yes, it'll come out of the horse's mouth.
Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, he's this article says that he has been looking at some self tapes that have been sent in, and after Father's Day is when he's going to start scheduling in-person casting sessions to review of the top contenders that have already been submitted by either self tape or agents been pestering him. So, just normal day in Hollywood, really.
Yeah, it's kind of a nothing burger.
Yep.
I mean, what I did see in Flash in regards to Superman's says to me that, he's still the most excitable character, like, as far as like people's enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was real. Oh, he's back. That was real.
Well, people definitely want to see Superman because he's needed. He just hasn't been around for a little over a decade.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to deal with him. Exclusive, following months of going through dozens of audition tapes, Warner Brothers and DC Films look to be getting closer to finding stars for their Superman Legacy movie as a second round of testing looks to be imminent. Insiders close to the process say the first in-person test with DC co-heads Peter Safran and James Gunn, who is wrote and directing the pick, would be in the past tense because he already wrote it, will take place around Father's Day weekend or Monday or Tuesday after the Nicholas Hoult, David Cornsweet, and Tom Brittany expected test for Clark Kent, aka Superman, and Emma McKay, Rachel Brosnan, and Phoebe Dynevor, never heard of her, testing for Lois Lane.
All of them are not, I mean, they're all good actors, but I don't think any of them have the look that would bring people in to see them as Lois.
Yeah, I think this is all speculative shit here. That's what I would say from here. Because honestly,
I suspect.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to say the same damn thing. I think that he's going to go with a complete unknown for the two mains.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. He's going to go with, I think it'd be smart for him to go with complete unknowns for Clark and Lois. And for any characters that are supposed to be over the age of 35, that's when he starts getting the named actors to come in as supporting to beef up things. That would be the smartest part.
I think he's going to do it just like Donner.
Is the history, is any sort of contentious history of an actor that's too well known to not become Superman, but become essentially the inverse of what happened with Henry Cavill, where Henry Cavill is now more of a name thrown around than Superman. And I think he wants the opposite of that. So
I mean, I think you're right, because a lot of who are the DC ones that are going to be continuing, they're pretty young.
Yeah, he's looking for 10 years, which means you're statistically looking at an actor that either looks or is relatively around the age of 26 to 28 years old. That's going to be male and female.
I mean, you got Pattinson as a Batman. Who
Well,
else
they're
is-
not in the same universe, so that's the thing.
You know, but they're still
Yeah,
gonna make
yeah.
those films. It's still DC.
Well,
Actually, the writer's strike might kill that.
I was just gonna say that because Script Doctor knows right what I was thinking because I was hearing some rumors myself. I haven't heard a lot lately.
It's a miracle
but
they've
I've heard a
gotten
little
as
bit
far as
about
they
that.
could
Yeah.
with the Penguin. I don't even think they wrapped production by the time the strike started.
I think that the Penguin was put on ice for now because
I
of the
could
strike
find out.
script. Yeah, you go find
that'll
out,
affect
Paulie,
you.
because that was the last I had heard. But that was funny that you just mentioned that script because just the other day I was hearing about how, yeah, the Batman 2 is looking a little shaky right now because of the strike. It's back on the possibility list again, not so much in the
Batman
imminent
2
list.
was already delayed before the strike. Now it's even further delayed.
Yep.
Because of it.
Because you guys gotta remember, and this is the thing, everybody tries to come after me every time I bring this up, but the Batman 2 was never as much of a done deal as everybody thought it was.
Well, I think
because the first movie didn't make the $1 billion they were banking on.
Yeah.
But
So they were coming at this one with a much different approach.
Good point.
And I had heard that the Penguin was going to play a large role in that, Paulie. And I know you know a little bit more about the Penguin side of things, but yeah, that's the thing is I heard that a lot of it was predicated on how well the Penguin was received on HBO Max.
I'm just thinking that it's just smart to go younger. And that's all.
Well, yeah, as far as like what he's doing it like Donner, I bet. That's what script is saying. And I know Klobby knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, you cast somebody well known for Jor-El, somebody well known for Lex Luthor, or whoever your villain is going to be, and you're Perry White. Other than that, nobody else has to be well known. Everybody else, you're Jimmy Olsen, you're Lois Lane, you're whoever else you're bringing on board has to be somebody brand new. Because that was one of my problems and gripes. Was like, I like Henry Cavill. Poor guy never got to play Superman, but guess what?
Right.
The problem now is when I see him, he's Henry Cavill. He's not Superman. When I was a kid, until basically, you know, even as a teenager, even though I knew Christopher Reeve and Superman were two different things, until I saw Christopher Reeve in a goddamned wheelchair, he was fucking Superman to me. Okay, like that there's you can't just change that in somebody's mind, right? Like he was ingrained in that role, much like I'm sure George Reeves was for the previous generation.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that poor guy died playing the while he was still the role. So I mean, he was forever Superman after that. So I mean, that's the thing is, I think Script's right. Henry Cavill's gotten way too big for the role now. More people know of him than they do.
Well, he's gotten big in the sense of popularity. He hasn't done any roles that have really made him an A-list star yet. I'm hoping that's going to change in the coming years because I think a charming guy like him has paid his dues to get a movie that he is the helm of that actually makes some waves that isn't IP dependent in the way that Superman was.
Yeah.
I'm stealing this. Batman did more walking in the last movie than a Hobbit.
He really did. He really did. And I'll say that the Hobbits were a lot smarter than fucking Batman.
And those movies were a lot of
that boy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The worst detective in the world.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Jesus Christ.
But actually,
as I said before, a movie is only as smart as the person who's writing it, and Matt Reeves is not that clever of a person.
What's funny about this is the only ones that I've ever heard of are the ones that are underlined here, which means they have profiles or whatever on this.
Which means
website.
that they'll probably be popular, and they probably got a team behind them trying to manipulate and push James Gunn to cast them. But that's not always going to be in their best favor because what James Gunn would be smart doing is finding an actor with a lot of potential that has done a few small roles that he can shape and mold into the characters he needs for this movie.
Honestly, you want to know my thing with Nicholas Hoult? Because I feel like we missed out on him playing the Batman and probably a much better, deeper Bruce Wayne.
He would be better as a villain than a Batman.
Well, I was going to actually, that's true.
He's got that tiny mouth that
he would make a really interesting, like either Brainiac. Now that you say that, but I was actually going to say, since we probably most likely know they're going to go a different direction with Aquaman, it'll probably be 5 years before we see Aquaman. I was going to say he'd make an interesting Aquaman in more of the traditional style.
I don't know what he'd look like as a blonde, though.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It'd be weird.
I mean, he's kind of got the funky hair already
Yeah.
in Renfield, so I mean, I don't know. But you're right. Yeah, he'd probably make a better villain. But my
No,
whole
he
thing was
would. I mean, this is the
the whole
one thing
thing
that
why I
I
was on board with
picked
him
up.
as Batman is he looks like a young Michael Keaton. That was my thing. But go ahead, script.
No, he does not look like a young Michael Keaton at all.
He's got the eyes. Look at him. You serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious.
They got
His
the
entire
same
profile is
eyebrows.
completely different. And he's got this beady little mouth. What
Michael Keaton don't have a strong chin or mouth either, though.
I didn't say chin. I just said he had a beady. He has different profile. So that's your cheek, jawline, and chin as well. So it doesn't match Keaton's.
Script doctor, you got a pretty mouth.
I don't even own a mouth.
I know, you're right. Script doctor, you don't got no
mouth.
Where's the mouth, boy?
No, really, this is the one thing that kind of ends up holding to be a little accurate is the fact that if the fans think of an actor will play a great Batman, they'll most likely be playing a villain because most fans think of Batman as a duality between light and dark when he's not. He's far more complex. What you really need, and Tim Burton did this by accident, is you need someone that actually has an understanding of a sense of humor. And Michael Keaton had that. And I think that's why he kind of shined in the role, because he's a very unassuming type of person. And it's to Bruce Wayne's advantage to look as unassuming as possible so people don't equate him with Batman. When it came to Christian Bale, I thought he would have made a way better Two-Face than Bruce Wayne because that's more in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he did was Bruce Wayne-ish, but it just didn't resonate the same way. I mean, you still have people today loving Michael Keaton. You still have people today really appreciating someone like Kevin Conroy, who did comedies on stage before, and he was not he was a dramatic actor and a comedic actor, but he was never, something that would do cartoons or of that nature. But he ended up coming at it from a really unique perspective and is now the definitive voice, may he rest in peace, of the character. You can even go as far as Batman, as Adam West, who is an iconic, casting of that role. He played it straight, even when he said the jokes, and he did it convincingly, and people liked it and felt and had waves up until Keaton came in. People forget George Clooney. Some people remember a little bit of Val Kilmer, who also came from comedic background and did well. And then you have Ben Affleck, who he's just trying to play it straight, so to speak. Like the comedy stuff that he's done has really been, unfortunately, Kevin Smith associated, which, take it or leave it as you will.
Yeah, but Ben Affleck is
he's a very prolific actor, so he could actually pull off a lot of stuff. I don't disagree.
And he's got the female audience spot. It's just incredible still.
Well, I mean, so did George Clooney. I mean, that's one thing. I know I've not met a woman that didn't find George Clooney attractive.
Both, I'd say both. Yeah. I'm just saying, but now he still's got that. Clooney's looking his age.
Clooney's past that distinguished look where he could still kind of pull off a little younger if he tried a bit more.
He can't. He can't pass off young now. Correct.
He can't pass off as young. To
Up in the Air.
No,
that's one of my favorite Clooney movies.
Oh, good film, but that's like over 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yep. Jason Reitman. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. I think you have to go with an actor who has a physical presence, but also has some unassuming characteristics for a Batman character. And with regards to a Clark Kent, you got to find. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not there, man.
It works for me. God damn it!
You need to get new prescription for your glasses.
I vote the left one.
I have. Oh. You Canadians are too much alike.
And I can tell you that clip of Michael Keaton is from Batman Returns.
Actually, I think
looks like it.
Returns. This one's second one. Yeah. Who fucking cares which one it's from?
I'm just saying, like that's. I know exactly that's from Batman Returns. That's when he first sees Selina. Just to let you know how often I saw that movie as a kid. But yeah, Nicholas Hoult has a different look, but he has a thinner, beadier looking mouth. He'd make a way better villain. He'd be really good as a Brainiac. He'd probably be really, really, really good as Parasite.
He could definitely play a villain.
Can I see that photo again?
Yes. So you can make fun of me too.
Why? I'm a big Nicholas Hoult fan.
Yeah, I like him too. I think he's great.
I think he really. It's funny because Renfield was basically a flop, but I think his what do you call it?
Performance?
Yeah, well, yeah, his kind of like his juice in Hollywood, his
energy.
It went up. Like he got an.
You mean like his cred with regards to artistic cred? Yeah,
his cred went up with that film. Because it that was a very multi-layered performance. With comedy, serious, physical. It was a very versatile performance. He did fantastic. Whereas him in The Menu was kind of just that one note. He was great in The Menu. It was just
The Menu's a messed up movie.
Yeah, I liked it though.
Well, I mean, if you like kooky stuff, it is right up your alley.
It's pretty demented. Yeah,
but I mean, you have to suspend a lot of disbelief in order to buy into.
Yeah, well, you have to believe that none of these people just get up and start swinging to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
that's right away.
I mean, it's a play on the lemming mentality, which is like, oh, because this person is doing it, we are all going to participate in the exact same way, regardless of the outcome.
I did like the way John Leguizamo was killed, though. That was good.
I heard a lot of people really enjoyed that.
Can see, obviously.
Tom leaving.
All right. No, I just waiting for you guys to finish up here. Camelbot Killer says, I trust gun making Superman good equal wooden nickel. No.
Huh?
I think he's saying he doesn't trust him.
Oh, he's equating the value. Okay.
Yeah. ActionCom says, script in your experience, what sets the stage for an unknown to be cast in a high value property? It's a good question, but I think we already kind of half-assed answered that.
Yeah, basically small performances in another media that has crossed the eye. I mean, James Gunn would most likely have whoever's casting director and whatever their department was to scour everything in the last 2 years, every show, to look for someone that could fit the profile of what a Superman would be, no matter how small a role, and then dig deep into their background and experience and see what their availability is like, and then bring them in. That's the job. Now, unfortunately, casting directors, especially in the 21st century, are incredibly lazy. They won't do that. They'll farm it out to other people who will do as quickly as a job as possible, because the deadlines are always going to be so narrow, and a lot of potentially great performers are going to be overlooked for the stuff that was easiest to find through a streaming or Google search, sadly.
Damn.
Whereas before, they would actually go out to every showrunner in town, every director, basically get their input. Point me to someone that you've worked with that is 6'2" to 6'4", dark hair, blue eyes, white, and a man. And then, those directors would be like, yeah, I remember this guy or whatever. And then they just start feeding in those names, and then they do the research. And that's traditionally what it was. When I had a very, very short stint working for some casting directors, that's the stuff I would do. And I always got nice compliments for it, because no one else in my area or department would do that. And I don't think anyone else has since. And if they have, it's been very rare.
Well,
that's kind of what you do. You just talk to every television director, every producer, showrunner, writer, and be like, listen, this is the profile I'm looking for. I would take any names you have that you think would be good for this, and they will do it. They'll happily volunteer. Everybody loves helping each other out in Hollywood in some degree, especially if no money is involved. They especially love that. They don't have to pay anything, and they're fine.
There's two examples I can think of that are perfectly kind of answer this and going off of what you just said, Script, and obviously the original Superman being one of them. The way Donner insisted he wanted an unknown to play Superman, even though the studio was like, no, we want Robert Redford or O.J. Simpson or anybody who's a name to play Superman. And he's like, no. The audience will not believe that Robert Redford can fly. They have to believe this kid can fly, so we need an unknown. And they looked at every actor. They looked at non-actors, anybody who fit the profile, like you just
Bodybuilders.
said.
Yep.
Exactly. And then the other example I can think of was basically Harry Potter. Because at that point, they pretty much saw every kid actor in the world. And I think they even had some opening castings for some of that stuff too. To where that's kind of where the stage is set for things like this. Usually when you get there's just these open little doors of time where like a director or something or a project where they want an unknown. And usually what an unknown means is what script said. Somebody who's only worked in a few things here or there. They usually don't flat
They're
out
not
do
straight
open
off the
casting.
street.
Yeah. They do that
Yeah.
once in a great while, but even them have like channels you have to go through to get to the actual final round. But like, yeah, it's one of those things. And that's kind of what it sounds like they're doing here from the story that we just read, is that they've got a bunch of videotapes to go through now. The higher profile names were listed probably in that article, but I'm probably Script can probably agree with me, and along with most of the panel here, that I highly doubt that he's even considering half of those names for these roles. He's going to go with complete unknowns. We'll have never heard of these folks before. I guarantee it. I'll be surprised if even Script and Paulie have heard of them, and they know some very obscure actors and other people in the industry than we probably do offhand. So,
Mhm.
yeah. I'd be very surprised if they pick anybody who's been in anything significant for Lois and Superman. So, anyway, Price of Reason sends in a very generous $20 super chat. Thank you, my friend. And you can find Price of Reason on his own channel, and he's always posting stuff on Twitter. And he wanted to take the opportunity to thank me for my great work. Well, thank you so much, except for when I'm picking Nicholas Hoult to play young Michael Keaton, evidently. Then I get yelled at. Jesus Davila sends us a thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please do. Still, less than half of you have hit the thumbs up yet. Sadie is still well over 200 likes away from getting a treat. Do you want her to go treatless for a few hours? I don't think so. So I think we should get them likes up there. She's like, we need to fix this like ratio here. Camelbot Killer says, can we get an F in the chat for Tom's job? Hey, not that bad. Not that bad. Come on. All right. Well, the other thing I wanted to talk about was this is kind of an odd anniversary for this, but I just thought it was kind of interesting to just kind of finish off the show talking about this, because this is an anniversary of sorts. Does anybody know the significance of today as far as cinema goes? Anybody, Bueller?
June 8th.
Gay Cinema Day.
Yes. No, actually, two of the biggest films of the 80s opened today in 1984 on the same day.
June 8th.
Yes, these two right here.
Ah,
Wow.
nice.
What
Wow.
a
Same
day
year,
that
same
was.
day?
Yep.
Same day.
Saw them both.
Wow.
Same day.
Wow.
So no, I think I saw Gremlins the night and that night, and then the day after Ghostbusters. Or maybe I got it backwards. I can't remember now. Damn it! But
And what's funny is neither one of these were the highest grossing films of the year, even.
if we got them the same
Beverly
time,
Hills
then
Cop wound up eventually with that crown. Yeah.
yeah,
84 was
man.
such a great year for movies.
it was my favorite of all. I mean, I must have seen Ghostbuster over 10 times. Ghostbusters over 10 times. Gremlins only once, but I saw Indiana Jones and Trek 3 and all these other movies so many times.
Seminal day. Well, to celebrate the anniversary, we got to look at the new Ghostbusters logo for the new film. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
Oh yeah, looks like
Oh,
it's
holy cow.
frozen over.
Hell's frozen over. A little cold in New York, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
We also got a video of Grace McKenna dancing around in her Ghostbuster outfit on the set of the fire
firehouse.
station.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Let me see if I can grab that here real quick. I'm not going to play the song because Lord knows it's probably copyrighted or whatever. But we should be able to at least play the video portion of it anyhow. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there you go. So she's walking around singing a song, showing off the firehouse. Looks good. This is a whole set they must have built up in Canada there, I'm assuming, scripts instead of filming most of it No, this would be in London, isn't it? London or which one?
No, that should be the same interior set that's in L.A. That's
Oh, this is in
on
LA?
the,
Okay.
on the Sony lot, because they have the
Okay.
internal one is not. It matches a little bit of New York, but it's not New York's, because they use that same set for Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Yeah, I knew they were shooting in London and a few other places. There's been some spottings of the Ectomobile running around New York.
Yep.
They've been doing some exterior stuff there. Like they're rushing to get this movie done because it comes out in a couple months, kids.
Oh, this thing I think would guarantee was filmed late last year.
Well, yeah, I think they're in the process of
Like
finishing.
this video
yeah.
itself, of course, was.
Like the people spotting the Ectomobile. I think you're right. I think that's what do you call it? B-roll footage or
Is it going to be any good?
pickups and stuff like that.
That's
I don't
the
know.
question.
I think
They've
that
been
video is
working
good
on it.
marketing. I mean,
Well, here's the thing. They've been working on this script since 2020 because they were expecting to release the film originally in 2020. And Sony was very confident that they said, go ahead with the treatment. And then they got delayed a year because of the pandemic. And I think in that time, Jason Reitman and partner just worked their butts off to try and make sure that the whatever the sequel was going to be as good as possible. And then after the reaction from Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think they did their necessary revisions based on audience reception and then pushed through with Sony's blessing to start this one.
this movie's got a good chance to do well. Exactly the reason you just mentioned. The first movie had great vibes around it, good reception, and the second movie, the same thing. If it comes out, it has good word of mouth. And that video, there's nothing wrong with that video. That what was it, TikTok video? It's a good looking set. It's real, you know. I think people will come out to this one.
I hope so. And the last one was budgeted nicely to where it didn't have to make a shit ton of money, to where Tom Rothman greenlit the
Very happy
sequel
about.
quickly. Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm worried about with this movie is you got like Patton Oswalt involved.
Yeah.
Carol
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman's kid is only producing, not directing. And he wrote
No,
on
he's
it.
switching. He's switching to producer roles.
Yeah,
and the producer
yeah.
for Afterlife is directing this one. So
Yeah.
it's a
So
pass off.
it's kind of a swap or whatever in what they're doing, but he's still around. So we'll see. I mean, there's a few things that got me kind of worried. Sigourney Weaver's saying some weird shit, but she might be trying to lie to us, I think. Because the weird thing is she just recently said she didn't even get a phone call to be in the movie, but correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Did we not cover a story on here like 6 months ago where she said everybody was back?
Yeah. I think maybe she's playing with people.
I think so. Because she was the one I think that broke the news that Bill Murray was coming back.
She and Dan Aykroyd did that. Oh no, sorry,
Yeah.
not Dan Aykroyd. Ernie Hudson. She and Ernie Hudson did that.
yeah.
Here, the other thing too is that I think Sigourney also said that she didn't know if she was in Afterlife or not, anyways, and that was also a troll because she was.
Yeah.
We found out later that she was told that the scene that she was going to be in was going to be part of the actual like end mid credits scene. So who knows right now? I don't know. I have some. But yeah, I would say Patton Oswalt is the one red flag. But if he's in it as much as he was in Down Periscope, I think we'll all be happy because he didn't get to say anything in Down Periscope.
I used to like him, but I never liked him. I was like, he's all right, whatever. But then he just got it. He was kind of like, kind of like Seth Rogen, just started showing up in everything.
Yeah.
And then also you got that really lispy comedian, Kamal Nanjiani.
Oh, from the Eternals.
Yeah. Who sucks.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about him.
Yeah.
If he plays like an assistant or something, like
he plays an assistant or a bad guy, or maybe like the mayor's assistant, like what's his name did in Ghostbusters 2. That would be
the one dude.
is Will Atherton coming back?
Yes, he's in it.
Really?
And there's rumors that he might be the mayor.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be brilliant.
Mr. Pecker.
Because he looked in like he was in a nice suit on the set from that image I shared. So yeah.
Oh man,
Wow.
you gotta appreciate Will Atherton. That guy is a prolific actor.
See, I could see Kamal or whatever being his assistant or something. Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't it be funny if Patton Oswalt is the bad guy and it's basically like a fuck you to the villain we had in the Ghostbusters 2016?
Well, I mean, if he's
I doubt it.
yeah, I don't know. He might be like an owner of some sort of building of importance that the Ghostbusters have to excise, so to speak.
I just
'Cause
hope he's not a
one of the
Ghostbuster.
angles with the Ghostbusters that architecture is used to bridge the gap between the normal and supernatural. So
Yeah. From what we've been hearing, he's back, Bryant. And I actually saw a recent picture of him because he's dating the milkshake lady.
what?
The singer. I think she sang the milkshake song. They're dating.
Who?
Yeah.
Kelly.
Is that her name? Something or other here.
My
Is she
milkshake.
from the Black Eyed Peas or something?
No,
not
that's
the
not
Black Eyed
Fergie.
Peas.
It's Fergie, man.
That's
Oh,
Fergie.
Fergie.
No, it's
Fergie had some other lame ass.
Khalees or
Khalees.
Oh, Khalees.
Go, boy.
He looks pretty good in that picture.
No,
He looks a little vibrant in it.
He
Yeah.
looks awful. Come on.
Oh shit, dude! Compared to what he's been looking like,
Listen, you
he
know
looked
what?
like he was next to death's door recently in a lot of the photos I've seen of him. He looks like he's got some color, and he looks.
Well, that's a bad
happy.
angle, bad
He
lighting.
looks
Even,
like he's getting some. Yeah, it's
even
all right.
Khalees
Exactly. See?
has
He's got the
the
light.
mustache,
knows
so
what
we
he's
know
getting
he's
at,
using
yeah.
it.
Hey, she's keeping him young. There you go.
Exactly. She's like almost half his age.
Yeah.
My man.
I mean, she's not young, but she's not.
You got
You know.
Pacino and you got De Niro, now homeboy.
We don't normally get into this stuff, but good for Bill.
Well, you're such a Murray fan, dude.
I am.
Well, you know,
Play on,
she's
player.
getting her
Exactly.
money.
Hey,
Jake's brought his
everyone's got to
voice
get
to the
some.
yard.
Good for him.
Then we got Kareen, who says, really, they dating? She just buried her husband. Oh, I did not know that.
Damn.
Oof.
Really?
Keep one eye open, Bill.
Yeah, keep one eye open, Bill. Shit.
At that
Yeah,
age, do you
wallet.
think he cares? I don't know. You don't have to like make it legal or.
I mean,
anything
he's
in
Bill
terms of, like,
Murray.
marriage and 50% of all that.
You almost have to sign a waiver to get within 5
Yeah.
feet of him because you might get killed within his vicinity.
How old is
He's not responsible.
How old is Harrison Ford and Callisto Flockhart?
There's at least that much.
Callista's in her 50s, I think, and Harrison
Yeah.
Ford is early 80s.
Yeah, so
Wow.
similar. I mean, Bill, I don't think is that old yet, though. He's in his. How old is Bill?
Well, Bill is probably in his 70s.
I was gonna say, yeah,
So I think he was like 38 or 39 when he did Ghostbusters.
72. I was gonna say he was low
72.
70s at the most.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
I
dad's
feel
age.
like Bill's always been a discerning individual. If he says that something's going well, I'll take his word for it.
Bill's 82?
Not that,
No, he's 72. 72.
Okay. Oh, 72. Sorry, CC.
And she sleeps 4 feet above the covers. Oh no, her hubby dies of cancer. That's too bad.
Was it lung cancer?
That's too sad. That's sad. Chevy Chase is 80. Yeah, I was gonna say he was older than Bill. Yeah. And that's what I was gonna say too, because Harrison got into it late. Like most people don't realize he's like 10 years older than
He was
Harry is.
older than Ian McDermott was in Return of the Jedi.
Really?
Yep.
I know. Well, yeah, he was a lot really young then too. Yeah.
See, that shit gets weird, man, when you start doing those dates with our past, because you're like,
Right.
right, really? That's scary.
Yeah. Mecca J says Oswald seems like he would have been a perfect fit to be the 2016 Ghostbusters then in the upcoming one. Yeah, I know. Well,
Lee
yeah.
Maybe a relation. We don't know.
Well, I was going
Now,
to
see, that sounds like a Ghostbuster joke right there.
Is there any indication of difficulties in the production of this movie, or is it
Nope.
going
No,
along
so
smoothly?
far it seems to be going by pretty smoothly. We have heard nothing come out of it.
I don't mind if there's a couple people that I don't like in the cast, as long as
fact that they
if it's in good hands and
the fact
creatively, and
of
it's not being
how-
disrupted.
How ready they were, like script said, going on. Like it feels like they had to have been very prepared to be able to get this movie shot, the post-production done, and everything by this Christmas is gonna be tough.
Yeah, I can be pretty confident in speculating that I wouldn't be surprised if Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd saw this script before Ivan passed and gave it their go ahead. Like, yeah, this is how we, take it the next step forward with these guys.
Yeah, I have good feelings about this movie, and I hope I'm right. And if I'm not, then we'll know pretty quick, obviously.
Are they
but-
trying to get it out for this Christmas?
This Halloween.
Is it Halloween or Christmas? I was gonna say, yeah, it's by the end of this year. That's all I know. It's supposed to be out this year.
The last quarter. So that usually starts at Halloween ish.
Oh, sorry, I just saw Bill Murray post. He's trending.
Good for him.
Bill Murray's trending, and it's pretty hilarious.
I see that he is trending. Yeah.
Oh my god, I gotta send you this one thing.
Oh, Are you sure it's him or it's not a fan site thing?
No, they're just. Oh no, it's him.
Okay.
But there's different reasons why it's trending.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's trending because it's.
I was gonna say because there's no
Ghostbusters
way
release.
he's on social media. I was gonna say.
No. But here, let
Dude
me-
don't even have a fucking phone or a cell phone. I mean,
There you go. Here, check this out. Put it in the private chat.
because you can call Bill Murray.
It's like
Yeah.
Bill Murray vibes. It says or something like that.
Bill Murray. Oh my god, I can't post that on the thing, dude.
Don't put it up. Don't put it up. But that shit is hilarious, bro.
No, I can't put that.
Jeez.
But
6 would be like Polly if she was still here.
yeah, but that's hilarious that he's trending, and
It
that's
is,
the first thing
it
that
is.
popped up.
Wow.
Well, at least he's trending over this, and when they tried canceling him, that went like nowhere. So good
What?
for that.
Who was that idiot?
They tried canceling him.
Yeah. What's that?
It
term?
was
Some female
that-
singer thing.
I
Right?
can't remember her name now. It's
There's a reason for that. The canceling went the
Exactly.
wrong way.
she's been working a long time, and I still can't remember her name. But between her and some other bullshit that supposedly went down on this movie set, Keke Palmer. Thank you guys.
Keke
And
Palmer.
it basically killed this movie. It's not going to happen now, from what I've heard. So good for them, I guess, for fucking it up over some stupidity, from what it sounds like.
She wanted more attention, and it ended up costing her a movie that would have gained her a great deal of it.
Juan, I would do this, but here's the thing. First of all, he doesn't answer.
It
It's
goes to a voice an answering machine.
and I would wait and save my one time I'm going to call him when I actually have an idea. Like he needs to do the voice of Nunchuckosaurus or something like that. That is when I would call Bill Murray, because I'm not wasting my one phone call just to fuck. Like, he ain't going to call me back probably. So, you know, that's how it works. So you call him, you tell him the idea. If he likes it, he'll call you back. Then maybe he'll show up. That's how it works. And yeah, we're caught up, kids.
Cool.
That was it.
Caught up.
Did Sadie get a treat? No, you guys suck.
No, they
She's so
don't.
disappointed.
Come on.
Come
we're
on.
26 away from 600.
No. I'm looking at my likes here. 334.
Oh, that's weird.
335. Okay, 337. Come on, keep them coming, kids.
Hold on. Let me refresh again because I think I got a glitch going.
339.
Here
Keep
we
them
go.
coming.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. You're right. 341.
It's been over a year since Kellis's husband passed away, so you know
Oh, has it?
it's not like last month.
Well, and if he was suffering, chances are it's
Yeah.
one of those things where, yeah, you hope they're happy. I hope they're happy. And Jason says he sees 347. That's a little better, but let's keep it coming. All right. Sadie needs a treat. She's been good. She's been very good. She's doing very well, actually, for those who are curious. Posted a couple videos for you guys to check out. And we'll do another update here in a couple days here. But she's doing really, really well. So I'm thankful for all you guys have helped me out with, and we appreciate it. And now we just got to get her through the healing process. If you watch the videos, you can kind of see where her operation was. It's big old stitches. Poor girl.
Mm.
All right, well, keep it going, kids, and I'll give her a treat anyway. But I'm trusting y'all to hit the like button.
All right, now let's get a treat for that poor doggy.
Yes. Script doctor.
366.
Keep them coming. There's still over 500 of you watching. We should get most of you to hit a like button. Come on, it's free.
Do it.
And cost you
Right.
bang bang.
Do it now. Get to the chopper.
Screw your treats.
No, screw your freedom with your treats. He apologized for that, and then when he went and said something stupid again the other day, didn't he? Now I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, he never was
What the hell was it?
I don't
Sharpest
remember what I
knife.
said. I'm old.
He never
I
was
forgot
the
now.
sharpest knife, was he?
Yeah,
You know, you're gonna see that Arnold
I've
documentary.
been wanting to, but like I said, now I don't remember what it must have been that bad if I don't remember what he said. But like, yeah, after he was all apologizing over the screw your freedom stuff, he said something else stupid, and I don't remember what it was. Oh,
He
that's
said-
what it was. He said heaven's not real and people. Okay, here's the thing. I have no problem with him stating his beliefs. The part that I thought was dumb is where he said, and people that believe in that are basically stupid. I'm
Did he really?
paraphrasing here. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you dumbass. What are you doing?
He's saying
Heaven's
stupid
not
or
real.
they are not going to be satisfied when there's nothing beyond that.
Oh, God.
He did. I swear he did say something along the lines of people are dumb or if they're ignorant or something like that, if they believe in it or something like that.
This coming from a guy.
Yeah, it's real.
This comes from a guy that says screw your freedom, and he probably, hey, Arnie, if you screw everybody else's freedom, you won't have any either. Oh yeah, never mind. I apologize.
And again, I don't begrudge him his own beliefs, but and this is where I'll even say stuff like sometimes when people are going off, and I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds here, but when people go off on religion and stuff and they like to going a little too far with making fun of certain ones, it's like, look,
Yeah.
they're either all okay or they're not okay. Because some people come after me for making fun of one or the other. It's like, no, to me, they're all equal in that respect. I believe what I believe, and y'all believe what you want to believe. But
Sure.
when it comes to jokes are jokes at the end of the day. And I think
Yeah,
all of them should be.
Yeah, making
Able
fun's
to
one
joke
thing,
about.
but it sounds like he was attacking people.
The other
Yeah.
question is, how strong is your belief if it can't take a few jokes?
Oh no,
That's
I mean, you
on
should be
that
able to make
side
any
of it.
joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Down for
yeah,
that.
no, but to call somebody stupid for believing something,
Yeah,
and
that's
this is
different.
what I was saying, like even
That's not a joke.
Scientology for that matter. Like, it's like, look, if somebody wants to believe that, that's what they want to believe, that's for them. You can find something silly in almost every religion or every, organized
Right.
situation you have. So being said, I don't think anybody should do that, especially if you're in a public eye like that. Fine, say you're an atheist, you don't believe in God, that's the end of it. Don't say anymore. That's your prerogative,
Sure.
Then you don't have to piss anybody off at the end of the day.
No reason to attack people, man.
Exactly.
Exactly. Say that and have them attack you. That's how it works.
Yes.
Well,
Screw your freedom.
preemptive strike. I mean,
Screw your God.
He was practicing that freedom that he just screwed.
Screw your God.
Cram.
I believe in Cram.
well, hell with you.
You don't have me now to hell with you.
I denounce Cram.
We would anyway.
Well, he might believe in Crom though. He just doesn't
Yeah.
believe in God.
All right, 10 more to 400. I'll give that as a good. That's good. Keep them coming. If we get to 400, I'll give her a treat.
Don't blaspheme Crom in front of him.
My God's better than your God.
Crom's real.
I want to play
My God is
Terminator
the
again.
sky. Don't ever want to be an interior decorator in a sexless marriage.
Oh, Jesus.
The only thing I terminated was my sex life.
The only cock trending is Doom cock.
Let's not even get into that. I saw that earlier.
I just saw it in the chat. I don't know. I was trying to find something that Arnold, Arnold.
All right, kids. What do we got going on script? What you got coming up?
Coming up, no idea. All I can say is that this morning I did a impromptu coverage of the DGA tentative deal.
Very
And
nice.
what that
Very
means
nice
with-
live stream.
Thank you. Yes. And I directed everybody over to Polly's. So hopefully they showed up. I got to pop in and listen to you guys for a little bit before I had to go take care of some domestic duties. So yes. So yeah, I am currently just working on a new Patreon article right now about the power of choice for your main characters. And so I'm just toiling away on that, and I'll be popping into various live streams throughout the rest of this week. I assume. Got a lot of people asking me to talk with them. And I like that.
All right.
I feel loved.
Aw. CC Karaoke. What up?
Any live streams that I'm on, usually I just add it to the live stream playlist on the landing page of my channel, so you can always check that out. And otherwise, Friday night karaoke, you can always find me there.
I'm sure you're just happy
It's,
to be home.
I mean, home is wherever I drive to.
That's what I
right
mean. I
now-
know for
Yeah.
you, it's that. Like you felt like I'm sure you're way out of place just sitting still for so long, not being independent and all that business.
Yeah. It's just, I was like sitting in the city waiting for the RV to be repaired. Yeah, it wasn't so bad, but it gets to be after a while. It's nice to be back into wherever,
Yeah,
remote place.
yeah. Well, I'm glad you got your RV back because I know you like to do your thing, man. And, yes, hopefully we have a karaoke Friday uninterrupted. Clobbery, what up?
Oh, well, thanks for having me, buddy. It was great being here with all these fantastic panelists and the chat. In a little less than an hour, Raquel and number one, and our chief engineer Mark D will be joining me for the clubhouse, and of course, Saturday night Star Trek. It will also be 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, reviewing all of Real Trek on there. So please join us, and much more to go at the channel. Clopper times. Thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate it. It's always great to hang with all of you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here, and of course, you're my go-to guy when it comes to comic booky stuff.
Thanks,
so
bud.
glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Paulie, a
Yeah.
rare appearance. Glad to have you here. Tell the folks what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm putting the link in the chat just because I feel passionate about. Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong link. Shoot! Oh no! Oh shit! Can you wait? I'm gonna delete that. Remove. I put that Twitter link by accident.
You liar! You did that on purpose.
I
You
didn't.
totally did that on purpose.
Yeah, you did that on purpose. Everybody saw it already. They went.
No,
Yeah.
because earlier, like 5 minutes ago, I put the flaming hot link. Oh, fudge.
Cat memes. Ain't the kind of cat memes y'all was thinking.
Right. Oh man, don't get me in trouble.
Here, kitty.
Here, kitty. There's a new movie coming out tomorrow on Hulu.
Lord.
Called Flaming Hot.
Flaming Hot Cheetos one. Yeah.
Yep.
And I got to see it last weekend in a theater, and then interview the lead actor for a few minutes. Great guy, and we put that into a real quick little non-spoiler kind of interview and review. You know, this film is a feel-good comedy, and please check out my review and check out the movie. You know, no one's watching this video compared to my other videos, so I'm like, come on, guys, you know, like show some love to different stuff. You know, you put up a Flash video, it's like, 10 times the views. But I really like Flamin' Hot. It's a good little comedy, feel good message, and I put the link in the chat. Tom, thanks for having me on. Thanks for inviting me.
Cool. All right, with that, let's break on out of here. I don't know what's going on with Thursday Night Throwdown. I haven't heard. They're all over in Dallas, so I think it's later tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't know where I'll show up. You never know. Finally hit 403. Okay, well, she's she's sleeping right now, so I'll make sure she gets a special treat right after she wakes up.
Oh, I got a text back. They finished filming Penguin.
Ooh,
interesting.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's down to the wire to get it done in post.
Well, it's via a friend, so I don't know when exactly it ended, but they finished filming. I'll find out later when exactly she was done. Our friend was done with
Did they finish filming, or did they want to give everybody time off so they could pursue other?
Well, the question is, did the show finish filming, or was your friend's schedule finish filming? Like that?
Well, yeah, because that's a good question, because I know she ran the writing room, but I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. That's interesting. There's a good point. Yeah, the writing would have been done a while ago, but if she knows whether or not the shooting, that's the different question. You said
she was the head lady on that, so
there you go. Well, now you just fucking doxed her, but all right.
I know, I kind of did, right? I don't think
now you got to make me edit out this whole last portion. You guys all just forget you heard that shit.
What the hell hell is wrong with you people?
This is what happens when you're like still like in nap mode.
All right. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you on the next one. Actually, the morning.
Bye.
Take care, kids.
This sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks.